1, 2, 3.
Thank you for tuning in. This is Matt Sanchez of the Mile High Show. You're listening to episode number 178. I am recording this out on my front porch, so if you hear any outside noise, that's why. It's a beautiful day out here in Chino Valley, just north of Prescott, Arizona. We have entered into what we call in this part of the state, or in the Southwest, the monsoon seasons, although I'm sure any of you from the South Seas or the tropics would not consider these monsoons. I don't know. It's our wet season. It's our rainy season. We get the bulk of our moisture and our rain in the summertime. And right now it's about 96, 97 degrees out. I'm looking out east from my porch, and a lot of gray clouds out there. Right above me is all black. There's a slight breeze going through. It's cool. Feels cool out here, but it is muggy and it's hot. But we're not getting any rain yet. We got a little bit yesterday. We actually got a little bit just before we plugged in the recorder 2 days ago on Thursday, the 5th of July, when I sat down in Prescott at Granite Mountain Brewery to talk with today's guests. And those guests are, first off, Drew Hall, no stranger to the show. He's been on several times. Great guitarist here in the area. He plays with a bunch of different folks, most notably the Cheek Tones and the Hall-Teschner duo that have been on the show before. Anyway, he plays with a lot of folks, including Blaine Long, former contestant and performer on The Voice, the televised talent show, based out of Phoenix, and Marcus Weeden. The three of them sat down with me, minus one of their group, Mr. David Liebman. I'm sorry, David. I'm sorry if I'm getting your name wrong. David was discussed in the show. I blew his nickname, and anyway, you'll hear. Anyway, but the three of them, Blaine Long, Marcus Weeden, and Drew Hall, along with David, make up the quartet Rosas Del Rey, and they are coming to the Elks Theater on August 11th. You can go to, let me pull it up here, PrescottElksTheater.com is the place you get those tickets. You can also find out information of that show at BlaineLong.com, and then Marcus Weeden has his own page, MarcusWeeden.com. The group of these guys have played with did you? I don't know if you picked that up. Some thunder out in the distance. Anyway, the guys that I sat down with, Marcus, Blaine, and Drew, all play with a number of different groups, a number of different incarnations of musicians around here and through the South. Well, all over actually. And they talk about some of their gigs, both good and bad. How they got into the music, how they all came together, and how they came up with the name Rosas Del Rey. And it is a very interesting and touching story that Blaine relates. So please stick around. It was a lot of fun talking with these guys. Like I said, I've known Drew for a while, gotten a chance to interview him multiple times, and I'll apologize right now to Drew. He didn't do a whole lot of talking. We got a chance to hear from Blaine. I was anxious to sit down with him anyway, and Marcus chimed in some there, but you're going to hear a lot from Blaine, and I like that. He's a very interesting guy, great backstory, and I want to sit down. Blaine, if you're listening to this intro, I want to sit down with you again, because one of the subjects we didn't broach that we talked about a little bit before we plugged in and then after, as you guys were setting up, was your love and appreciation for the great Tom Waits, and I am a big fan of his as well. So maybe we'll sit down and talk the grittier side of music and inspiration, and talk about some Tom Waits favorites, because, like I said, he is one of my favorites, and as a storyteller, as an artist, as a songwriter, you mentioned he was one of yours as well. So maybe we'll sit down and do an all Tom episode. That would be a lot of fun. We sat down down at Granite Mountain Brewing just the other day and recorded this, so thank you to the good folks at Granite Mountain. Show notes have a link to their site, so check them out. Great spot to just hang out. A lot of beers and ciders and wines they got going there, mostly local, as well as just a room full of games. You can sit down on a couch with some friends or at the tables there. It's a small place, but great spot to just hang out and pick up. They got Uno, cards, dominoes, backgammon. They got a lot of stuff in there, so it's just a great spot to hang out. Granite Mountain Brewing. The link is in the notes there. Check them out. It's a great spot. And go through the archives at milehighshow.com, because I sat down with the brewmaster and one of the owners, a year and a half, 2 years ago. And that was a fun episode as well, recorded right there at Granite Mountain. So go to milehighshow.com and search those archives and listen to my back episodes with Granite Mountain Brewing as well as with Drew Hall. And find out a little bit more about Drew if you don't know about him. Rosas Del Rey has a new release, an EP of 5 songs, and that's what you heard on the intro. You'll also hear on the outro. I'm not sure which ones I'm going to plug in yet. Probably Black Cat. So Black Cat might have been one of those. Check them out. You can get that EP called Uno anywhere you get great music, including Amazon. Use that Amazon link there at milehighshow.com. All right, we're going to get right into the episode after I've already rambled. What have I gone? About 7-8 minutes here. I don't know. But before we do, I want to give you our sponsor for the day. Again, don't forget, Prescott Elks Theater.com for the August 11th show featuring, you'll hear all about it, Rosas Del Rey, of course, the Cheek Tone Trio, and Walt Richardson and friends. So it's a ton of folks playing. Drew Hall will be pretty much on stage from start to finish, and it'll be a great, great time. Now, excuse me. This is our sponsor for the day. I want you to pay close attention to what I'm going to say right now, because this is our sponsor of the day. It's actually what I like to call an anti-sponsor. We've only had 1 or 2 of those in the past, and that is when somebody gives us such horrible service that we, one, don't want you to patronize them, but we want to give you some information, so if you are a friend of the show, you can let them know how you feel about the way they treated us. Several weeks ago, I was involved in an accident, nothing major, a little slight fender bender. I was at a stop sign and I was rear-ended. I contacted my insurance company, and she suggested, well, if you have any troubles, let's do it together, but reach out to the insurance company of the person that hit you, and let's see if we can't get it. That way you don't have to file a claim with us. You don't have to worry about your deductible, nothing. And so my insurance company, my agent, and I sat down on a conference call or on a speakerphone call with the good folks at today's anti-sponsor, Geico Insurance. Now, we spoke with the rep at Geico. This was on the May 24th. The accident was on the 23rd. I was assured, no, you do not have to go through your insurance agent, but thank you for reaching out to her. We will take care of everything. We have reviewed the claim. We have reviewed the statements by the gentleman who hit you, and we are at fault. We know that. You were stopped and he hit you. We're so glad you're not injured, but let's take care of your car. We'll get you taken care of as soon as possible. That was the last nice conversation I had with Geico. It is now, 7 weeks later? They have ignored all phone calls. They have ignored emails. When we have contacted them, they will be able to make contact with them. They have requested everything from, and I am not joking, they have requested written statements on how the accident happened. They have asked for, as soon as they found out that I was on my way to work during the accident, they wanted to know who I work for. They wanted to know, when they found out I was self-employed, they wanted to see contracts of the people I was working for, invoices. They asked for W-2s. They've asked for last year's tax returns. They wanted to see contracts and invoices with my clients going back 6 months. Makes no sense. Their inspector claims that he viewed a police report that does not exist, because Prescott PD does not do police reports for accidents not involving criminal activity or suspicious things like hit and run or DUI. So he lied to me about seeing a police report. When I called him on that, his literally 30-second inspection of the vehicle didn't encompass anything. The guy was incompetent in his job. The supervisors that he works under have proven to be incompetent as well. What I'm gathering is that they want to throw every request at me, making me go through, my wife and I go through and provide them with so much information. I think what they want is us to just give up and ignore this issue, but it's going to be about $1,500 worth of damage, if not more, on the vehicle, and we want them to fix it, and they are refusing. After their guy rear-ended me. A guy who I'm not going to say his name because he's been kind of benign in all this, but he did admit to me that while we were waiting there on the side of the road, that just a few months ago, he hit somebody else. And prior to that, a year or so ago, he hit somebody else. He has been at fault for like 3 accidents in the last couple of years. But this is what I'd like you to take away from this. If you are bored and you're looking for some entertainment, and you're interested in maybe finding out how insurance scams work, call this number. You ready? You got a pen? 480-225-5633. I'm going to repeat that. 480-225-5633. That is the cell number for one Nico Turi, the claims agent taking care or not taking care of my claim. Again, Geico rep, Inspector Nico Turry, Turrey. His cell number is 480-225-5633. Give him a call. Find out exactly what's involved in wasting money. And if you are a Geico customer, the difference in what they don't want to pay is about $500. You may say that's not much, but I don't have an extra $500 laying around. So if you are a Geico customer, I want you to know they have spent well over $10,000 in dodging calls, transferring us from one agent to another in their manpower alone. 7 weeks wasted. Well over 10 grand to fight $500. Now think about that. That thousands of dollars they are wasting over a few $100 is paid for by you, the Geico customer. Want to drop Nico an email? Feel free. N as in Nico, as in Nora, Turrey, Turrey. Again, N Turrey at geico.com. His cell number, 480-225-5633. Send him a message and let him know that he is an incompetent and he's very good at dodging calls. Let me put it that way. But in my couple of days of airing this frustration on local social media, I have been contacted by a half a dozen people or so who have had to deal with him in this area in the past, and evidently this is his modus operandi. His MO is to lag and wait and waste until you, the customer, give up. I ain't doing that. So give old Nico a call again, 480-225-5633, or email him, ntorrey@geico.com. Let old Nico Turrey know that he is wasting valuable money and valuable time, and you don't appreciate it. Now, okay, if you made it through that whole mess, sit back and enjoy my conversation with Marcus Weeden, Drew Hall, Blaine Long, Rosas Del Rey. Their new EP is Uno, this show was recorded at Granite Mountain Brewing, and check them out at the Prescott Elks Theater on August 11th. Thanks for sitting down. I know you guys got a show coming up in just a little bit, so we're squirreled away in the back seat of Granite Mountain Brewing. So,
Yes.
so thank you to the folks at Granite Mountain also for letting us take up space.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's just go around. Drew, first off, want to know where everybody can find you guys. Let's get it right off the bat. Twitter, Instagram, website, Facebook, wherever. Drew.
I'm going to pass it to Blaine first.
Ah,
Oh, dear Lord. I was just
That's
thinking,
'cause he
do
forgot.
I even, well, as you said it, I was like, what do
I think
know
you have
mine?
more of them
I think
that
it's
you know.
Blaine Long Music is
Yeah.
my Instagram.
Twitter and
Thank you.
Instagram.
Yeah, Blaine
Yeah,
Long
the
Music.
Twitter's the
yep.
one I didn't know, so.
Yep. Yeah, I don't do the tweeting anymore. I'm kind of
No.
lazy with that. I just kind of share. I don't know how this. I feel like a caveman, but I feel like what is Twitter doing? I don't know. I like
Right.
pictures. I'm very simple minded. Give me a picture.
We do a
is
lot of
elect-
Instagram.
a
and
lot of
all that,
Instagram.
you know,
yeah, Blaine Long Music. But yeah,
Twitter is electronic graffiti in the bathroom wall. That's the way it is
Yes,
for
yes.
me.
Exactly.
It's what
That
I
you can-
feel like
that you can
scribbling
discuss.
down. And
yeah, like anyway, but yeah,
and then BlaineLong.com.
BlaineLong.com. You got
Gotcha.
it. Absolutely.
Marcus,
Yes.
where are you incognito? You just a
I'm
mystery
not
man?
incognito, no. We have to let our figurehead Blaine speak because it is his name, Blaine Long, and we're part of Rosas Del Rey.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So like
But,
when it's a band show, I'm posting for all of us.
Gotcha.
It is
Yeah.
us. You know, so
And then
Okay.
we share.
Drew has a couple other projects, and Marcus
Yeah.
plays with Walt as well as Drew.
Yep.
Walt
Yeah.
Richardson, which is a good friend of ours.
Yeah.
So they're part of other projects, and I think you have your. Now I can't say the name. What is the name?
Oh, well, it's a secret right now. Right
gotta-
now,
oh,
we're
no,
going
it's
to
a
call it
secret.
the Teschner Hall Group, featuring Gigi Ganaway and Malin Hawk. It's kind of like a rap video. It's a really long name. We're going to debut a new name when we have our little EP coming
Sounds
out
like
in
a law
September.
firm.
It does sound like a law firm. especially-
STA is one of the.
In trouble,
one of your
call
favorite
Malin
songs.
Hawk. Yes.
Yeah, STA. Yeah.
I'm going to get those bus stop or the bus benches and get those
Exactly.
ads on there.
Yeah.
Do you have any social media accounts, Marcus, or
I do have a social media account under Marcus Weeden.
Weeden? Spell that for us.
WEED as in David, EN.
Nice.
I do have a website under that name as well. I'm a singer-songwriter and artist, but
he is.
in this capacity, I am a bass player
Yeah,
Yeah.
And songwriter.
and songwriter.
the backbone.
The backbone.
The backbone.
Backbone of the band.
Very true.
Yes.
All right, Drew Hall.
All right.
Drew Hall guitar.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So, what I should say, we have a couple of the reasons that we're on, and thank you for having us. I appreciate it. One is Elks Theater that we're doing on Saturday, August 11th.
Yes.
The lineup, we start off with the Cheek Tones Trio, which is Don Cheek, Gary Ukura, and myself. Vocal harmony, acoustic stuff.
The Eucharista.
Right, there are
Harmonies
some
kill.
Eucharistas.
Harmonies kill.
Gary
Harmonies,
Yes.
yep.
still scares me. I have yet to have a conversation.
Gary,
with
oh, he's
him.
a great dude, man.
No, he terrifies me.
He's
I
mellow,
will see
man.
him. No, there's a story
Really?
behind that. We'll
Okay.
get
Aha,
into
oh,
this.
really?
This is
No.
great. I love it.
That's okay. He won't hear this. He's never online,
No.
so we can say whatever we want. You know? He's been on Facebook once since 2019, 29 or whatever.
I've had a few conversations with Wes Williams about Gary,
Nice.
and the terror that he has put into my heart. Go ahead.
Gary, by the way, is an excellent singer-songwriter,
Yeah.
and he does his solo gigs. He does his thing. He just doesn't really let people know about it. He plays, and if people show up, they show up. If they don't, they don't, and he's fine either way. But he's got some great songs.
Yeah.
I didn't know that
Yeah.
he plays out.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. He plays as a
I've
solo.
heard that he writes great stuff.
Yeah, man.
he always
Killer
just
singer.
has this intense look on his face.
He's thinking. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when I photograph, that's my background. I'm a photographer by trade. And when I photograph you guys, either the trio or the Cheek Tones,
Yeah.
or when he sat in on people, I try and stay out of the way. But Drew, you'll always kind of give me a nice little look, and you'll play to me for a second
Right.
while I'm shooting. Others the same. Don usually gives me a little nod.
Yeah.
Wes does a full-blown solo dance move. I don't know what he does. But
New Orleans style.
yeah.
Rolling style.
Is that what it's called? Pre or post Katrina? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gary looks at me as if I've just kicked his puppy.
Well,
Every
well,
single
But did you
time.
kick his puppy?
No, I have not.
Now do you?
Not I
even once.
did
Okay.
never. But
Gotta talk to
he
Gary.
just has this look about him
Yeah.
as he's drumming away there, like, and I know this isn't the case, or I hope this isn't the case.
No,
That why are you doing this? Get away from me! And he just gives me this nasty look. So I was doing an interview actually here when I was with the owners here.
Yeah, he
this is
hangs
a
out
couple
at
of years
GMB,
ago,
yeah.
and his name came up, and I says, "Yeah, the guy, he just kind of intimidates me. He scares me a little bit.
Pretty
And
intense.
as I'm talking, my eye links with him, and he was sitting right in that chair right there, and he was just staring at me.
Oh my gosh! I was gonna say
And-
maybe he has to go to the bathroom.
and
like,
it's
being behind the
He's
drum
like, "Hey,
kit.
man."
It's hard to get out sometimes. So maybe he just needs a potty break. But it sounds like that's not the case.
And a couple of other times, in the course of me explaining to somebody, the guy he just kind of intimidated. I'll look up. And another time we were at, I was sitting down interviewing somebody at the St. Michael's there, right at the little window.
Is he always there?
No, he was
walking?
just walking past as I was saying it. So I expect to see him at any minute.
He does. He may be
That's
here
why they
tonight.
call him the dude.
Yeah, serious. Yeah,
He's
like
the myth.
really good singer.
Man, the myth.
and,
The midget.
But,
But
you guys,
very
but you guys
chill.
are starting it out. So it's the
Yes,
trio.
we're starting it out as a trio.
Yeah. Sorry.
And then
Yeah, let's
after
get
that,
back to it.
we got our band here, Blaine Long and Rosas Del Rey. So the cool thing is, this is the first Elks Theater of the band.
Nice.
Last year, Blaine, we played, but
Yep.
it'd be really before we formed the band as it is
Yeah.
right now.
There was
We also
definite
have-
chemistry.
Yeah, and we
And
have
everything
David
was good,
Littman.
but it was pretty different. This
Yeah,
this
more
time
like
around.
a singer-songwriter with an accompanying band.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Whereas
Absolutely.
this is like a band.
The
band.
full-blown
Yes,
band.
the full deal.
Yeah.
Now again, who's the lineup for
right.
Rosas Del Rey?
Well, myself and Drew,
Yep.
Marcus, and then there's a guy we call Creamy Dave.
Creamy Dave. Creamy Dave on the
There's a
drums.
story to that.
Let,
There is.
let it,
Is every drummer just creepy now?
no,
Not creepy, not creepy.
No, he's not
creamy.
Creamy, not
Creamy.
creamy. But now he is going
Now
to be
he's-
Creepy
guess
Dave.
what?
Creepy
So
Dave.
thank you for that.
Guess what now?
Because
Sorry,
most
Dave.
You've given
Daves
us
I've
hours
known,
of
Sorry,
jokes
man.
now, so this is
Yeah.
great.
most Daves I've known have been a little creepy. But you said
Not this
creamy.
Dave.
Creamy.
He's creamy.
Creamy.
In the
Oh.
valley, down in the valley, everybody knows him as Creamy Dave. We were playing a show in Mexico, and these girls walk by, Creamy. They're just yelling out to him.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody knows him as Creamy Dave, and most people know him.
Nice,
he's
nice.
He's a he's an amazing drummer, and definitely holds us together, and he's a good dude. So
Nice.
yeah, but that is the lineup.
That's the
What
lineup.
style music? What
You guys tackle that.
We're
this is it
We're
here?
rock and roll,
Yeah.
Americana, and soul. So it's kind of all
Yeah.
intertwined and intermixed into all those songs.
Yeah.
Nice. And Uno's the release?
This
Yeah,
is our
that is
first,
the first
debut release.
Yeah,
Okay.
group effort.
Oh, this is brand new, 18.
Brand new.
Brand new as of
Yeah.
last month.
Where can
Yeah.
they get it other than live shows?
iTunes.
iTunes,
iTunes?
Google Play, anything digital that's floating around out there, it's there.
Is it available on Amazon?
I believe so.
Well, in that case, you
should
go to
be.
milehighshow.com and use that
Oh,
Amazon
right, that's
link.
right. I remember.
There we
yeah.
go.
And
There
they
you
get
go.
it that way. So if you're listening and you want to hear some great music and put a couple of bucks in my pocket, that works
we
because
go.
it allows me to buy coffee stout is what.
Nice, man.
You work
Delicious.
for Coffee Stout.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dig it.
All right.
But yeah, so after we play, then it's Walt Richardson and Friends.
Nice.
And as Walt Richardson and Friends is Walt Richardson.
Yes.
Of course. That would be
Yeah.
necessary for Walt Richardson and Friends. Then myself on guitar, Marcus on bass, and then Gigi Gonaway on drums. We've talked about
so
Gigi.
you got
Gigi.
yes.
Gigi.
Oh, yeah.
Now, so you guys are basically on stage. Drew specifically.
I'm
gonna
on
be
the whole
on
time. yeah.
You're on the entire time.
Yeah. Figure if I'm going to promote a show, I'm going to
Yeah.
get to play it too. So
How do you like the Elks?
Love it.
In
Love
that-
the Elks. Beautiful, man.
Just walking into that place and feeling that history,
Yeah.
and just the whole feel of it. Acoustically, how do you like? As an audience member,
Yeah.
I've only seen a couple of music shows there. Loved them.
Yeah.
Obviously, you guys got a different ear for that. Is there? Do you change up how you play when you're playing that place as opposed to say Rhythm Room or something like that? You got to mix it up a little bit.
Not really. I mean, we have Ted Leonard doing sound for us, so he takes good
Prescott
care
Pro
of us.
Sound.
Yeah,
Pro
Prescott
Sound.
Pro Sound, and Andrew Sharkey doing monitors and stuff. And so it's all pretty easy. It's been pretty
I
smooth.
would say we put out more energy.
There's definitely more
Is it-
energy.
yeah?
It's a
Oh
bigger
yeah,
room.
no, that's a good point. Yeah.
Every performer, like the good ones, I feel like they rely on the sound. They hold back and they go, the sound guy's going to do his job. Or the seasoned, I'm not saying good, but seasoned
Yeah.
folks
Yeah.
do that. I'm still at the point of when I have a big room, I'm like, I got to fill this
gotta
room.
fill
oh
it.
man,
And everybody, we got to give all this energy out, and we really got to do it. Like, and so
Well, that's theater. That's opera. That's how they
Yeah.
do it.
yeah.
You know?
So we definitely play to the rim. Like the energies, we're very excited for
Nice.
the show.
Oh,
So
yeah.
the energy is going to be pretty high.
Now, how many seats in there?
486.
Utilizing the front. You can have a dance floor. You can have seats in there. What's the plan?
There'll be dance floor. So there'll be basically 486. There's 500 seats.
Nice.
486, but there's 14 that are not available for, where the soundboard is.
Yeah.
Some obstructed view kind of thing.
Yeah.
But 486 is, and last year we sold 466. We're 20 from selling out. So this year, of course, want to sell out.
Already on sale. Through Elks. You doing them through other venue or other avenues?
Just through the Elks site.
I'll put a link in the show notes.
Yeah, put a link. And I actually, on Facebook, when I share it, I have a link that I keep in my phone that I just send to everyone. And I always, every time I post about the event, I always put the direct link to the seats there.
Perfect.
This is really, it's an evening. That's what I really liked. Last year, after I was done playing, I got to sit in back with my wife.
Yeah.
And I never get to do that. Just sit and watch a show with her. Let alone Walt Richardson and these guys. So it was such a treat. But it's really an evening.
Yeah.
And the vibes are so different, but yet we really do come together. Like I was just on the phone with Walt today. So Walt, he's a friend of mine and ours of Rosas Del Rey.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're a friend of his. And it's a really cool vibe in the room.
Different styles, but pairing together really well.
Absolutely.
To give
and there's a love. There really is a love and a respect between all of us. I think you can see it and hear it, I don't know.
How did the three of you guys hook up? And Dave. Creamy Dave.
All right.
Creamy.
You want to go? You want me to start it or you got it?
Yeah,
you can start.
You can start the story.
All right. So we were making this batch of meth. No, I'm serious. Let me continue.
And it got out of hand, happened to walk by.
The trailer went on fire.
Dave evidently has other nicknames as well.
Yes, he does. Yeah. No, I'm the king of horrible jokes. I apologize.
We had to start in the 90s, like towards the tail end of the 90s.
Yeah,
right?
In the late 90s, I was in a band called Jones Fracture. Don't judge. And Marcus was in a band called Twig. And we were on the scene. Definitely one of the bands. We had our own scene happening. But anyway, I saw Marcus and we get to know
down
people.
in Phoenix?
Down in Phoenix, right. So we were playing and we were really going for it, And my band broke up and his band broke up. But it was like a marriage back then, because we didn't play with other members. This was our band. This was our family. But in the back of my head, and even out loud at times, I would say, there was another drummer at the time that I picked, but I said my dream rhythm section would be Marcus and this other cat. This other cat turned out not to be so nice. Marcus came back in 2010.
Well, 2009.
2009.
That's when we started talking about...
We started working on producing. He produced a record for me. I kind of moved back to Arizona from California. I had moved around. So I hooked up with Marcus somehow. I don't know how, but I reached out to him. Said, all right.
I think through MySpace. Or something
right.
like that.
I think we still do that, don't we? Yeah. We message each other through MySpace still.
Yeah.
We're the only people.
Don't knock it.
It's a great echo in there.
Don't knock it. I was doing a really long upload, and I was stuck in my computer about 3 a.m, and I went through and updated my MySpace page. At first, I was shocked it still existed.
Yeah, 7 million friend requests.
Let that be a warning, children. It still exists.
Nobody liked me there either. So.
But Marcus produced that record for me, and then we hired some great musicians on that. But he produced it, played on it, and then through over the years, we kept getting back together, and then said after the Voice experience, it was time for a band.
Yeah.
Of course, Marcus was my first pick. I didn't know anyone else really. I mean, I knew of a lot of people I wanted, but he was first on the list.
Yeah.
And so let's build a rhythm section. So I get a call one day. Hey. He gave me texted over a picture of this guy playing on a drum kit with a big suitcase for a kick drum. That's right up my alley. I'm a huge Tom Waits, let's make music out of anything. Let's hit stuff.
I'm a big Waits fan.
Are you?
Yeah, we're going to go that way.
Yes. So he sent a picture of Creamy Dave playing on this suitcase kit, and he goes, "This is the guy you want." And I go, "I'm sold. I'm in." So I had a meeting with Dave, and off we went, and then the next guy was Drew, who actually we met. It started snowing here one night, and he came and just met us through Gigi.
Yeah,
I believe.
Yeah,
I'm kind of tangling the story of it, but through Gigi, you got to meet this Drew guy. You got to meet this Drew guy. I just kept hearing this Drew name. So we finished a gig up at the Raven, And Drew showed up, and we started talking, and the party just kind of met.
Yeah.
Right down on the street out here off of Cortez, and the snow was coming down, and it was very cold. I think it was snowing, or
Yeah,
it felt like it.
it was.
Yeah.
We had just Cheektones had finished playing at Far From
Yeah, you
Folsom,
were very cold.
and it was like 30-something degrees. We were playing on the patio
Outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So with the separation thing, we did try another guitarist, but it just, besides musically not working, it was Drew. That name
Yeah.
was still always just kind of there. And then it was like, all right, man, if we can make this distance thing work, long distance relationship here, you know.
No, we're going to ask him to plug his ears so his
Yes,
ego doesn't
do
get
it.
too out
Oh,
of
yeah,
bed.
no,
But
no.
does it get any better than Drew on
Does
guitar?
not. It's
My
pretty annoying.
Goodness. Yeah.
You know what? For me, it's such a treat. Like, I still geek out. I still get to look over to my left and I see him freaking out on the guitar, or little things that he does that I'll listen back to a live recording. Someone will Facebook, and I'll listen for a minute. I'll be like, I was right there and I didn't hear that lick. How cool was that? Like, you just kind of listen back. So he's always thinking as he's just naturally reacting. So it is fun to watch him
As
play.
an audience member and somebody who has zero music ability whatsoever, I'm just amazed that people can play instruments in general. Because I've tried.
Yeah.
As a kid, took lessons. It just didn't.
I'm kind of there with you. I'm a songwriter. So when I see these guys playing, it's amazing.
And I know this isn't the case. I know there's thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of work into it.
Yes.
But watching any accomplished musician, and Drew specifically, watching you play, it looks as though that's like how I chew gum. You don't even think about it. It's just there. It looks so effortlessly that you're doing this. Now, having said that, I know it's not.
Right,
There's so
right.
much
Well,
hard
he
work
put in
there.
the time, but he still puts in the time. We'll be talking on the phone. I'm running through the record. I'm just running
Yeah.
through the record. He still rehearses and practices. Who does that? Someone as good as he is still pushing themselves at their craft. So that is very. It just feels good, and it pushes the rest of us.
And to see somebody plug your ears because it's going to get ugly.
Yeah.
To see somebody do that and show the love and respect for the art form.
Yes.
And then the flip side of that, he doesn't keep it to himself.
No.
He's got this history and this chain of working with the up-and-comers and these kids in the area. So he's become, at a very young age, a legend in this area.
Yes.
And then to have that spread out even more, okay, now you're going to have to get him a bigger hat.
But more importantly, on a top one, make it a top hat.
Top hat.
More importantly, Drew's a nice dude. He's a nice dude. Like,
that
how often
good.
do
You
get
should.
that?
I would
Very
wish you
humble.
were a jerk.
you.
So then we got something to hate you for.
Exactly.
Right, do that.
But then he's
Yeah,
a nice guy too.
He's a nice guy.
And a Disney lover. You know, that
Yes,
kind of thing.
yes.
It's like,
True.
Yes.
Yes.
Covered in tattoos, long hair, loves Disney.
scaring kids at the Matterhorn.
I am my own
Does the
person,
Matterhorn
right?
still exist?
It's
That's the
cool.
last.
Oh, sure it does,
That's the last
man.
time I was at Disneyland.
New Yeti, man. Yeah. It's a really scary one too. Yeah.
So what the name of the group? And I got to keep looking. My brain doesn't
Yes,
work.
yes, yes.
Rosas Del Rey.
Yes, sir.
What's the genesis there? How did that come about?
Lay out your arms.
Yeah. My boy, I adopted both of my kids. This is my girl. Her middle name is Rose. And so, how do you teach an adopted kid forever? How do you teach that concept to a 4-year-old, a little 3.5-year-old? So when my daughter came home, she was saying, on my next home, or this or that, because she was in the foster system.
Okay,
So I did have a tattoo before, and she would scrape it, knowing that what is this? I said, it's not going to come off. It's not marker. I go, no, baby, this is always forever. What's forever? Okay, you're never going to go to another home. When you can scratch off. So I put a rose tattoo on my right forearm. And when my boy came home 2 years later, his middle name is Ray, R-E-Y, Little King. We don't have any other boys in the family with a long name. So I actually got to sign up and get one. I made sure. And so I got a little crown on my left hand, forearm. And so, when you can scratch that off, that's when you go to another home type of thing. This is
Beautiful.
forever. But it turned into, how do you find a band name, man?
There almost are none left.
They're all taken. And if not, we got to get real gross. And I can do that, but it's not very appropriate.
Not good on the
very
flyers,
appropriate.
man.
yeah.
Yeah, so it was just kind of a play on that Rosas Del Rey, the King's Roses kind of thing, and and I did a record called Ray, and I did a record called Rose in the past. So this was just kind of bringing everything back together.
Oh, how beautiful!
Yeah,
Because you
yeah.
really show them the permanence. You are now
Yes.
here.
This is
and
we're
this is
family.
home.
You're under my skin.
Beautiful.
Literally. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Now, how old are they now?
Now my daughter is 10, and my boy is 8. Yeah.
Okay, now I think back to when I was 13, 14. In a couple of years, they're going to probably want to chop those arms off.
Yes.
And
Yes, and feed them to me. Yes.
I've got an 8-year-old at home, and I cherish every minute because I know in about 6 years he's not going to want to speak to me, and he's going to want.
Yeah, I'm still getting hugs and kisses.
Yeah.
I'm still getting, daddy hold me.
Beautiful.
I'm still getting all the fun stuff. So
Very nice.
life is good. And what's great is about our band is we have 2 fathers, we have 2
Yeah.
single cats. So we're very family friendly, and we're very we just want to play music.
Yeah.
We just want to stay on the stage and keep playing and writing. So
Beautiful.
yeah,
beautiful.
we're very lucky.
Now, what was home life for you? You grew up in Phoenix?
Tempe
Tempe,
boy. Yep, same
down in the
thing. Yeah,
valley.
Yep, absolutely.
Musical family, or a lot of brothers and sisters? What
Do you
was
have
it like?
time? Do you have time? Okay, hold on. Let me move these.
It's going to turn into a therapy session real quick.
Absolutely.
You can lay down if you'd like.
Oh my god. Yeah, growing up, real quick, I'll just spit it out as fast as I can. My pops used to drink quite a bit, and I only say that in a negative term, the sense that he didn't want to. He didn't, just came now, just leaning on
Yeah.
it like we all do, but he did a little bit more. In fact, he was a very happy drunk. When he was drinking, he would get in the car. We're going to Toys R Us. You steer. I'll do the pedals. Let's go get some new toys. So when as the night would go on, my brothers would go to bed early. I was always a night kid, a night owl. And it
Where
would start-
were you in line?
San Jose, California, probably first grade, kindergarten.
Oh, San Jose?
Yeah.
Hayward, born and raised.
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
But where were you in the line of kids? Oldest,
I'm the youngest of
youngest,
three.
youngest of three.
Youngest of 3. So they would go to bed, and my mom would go to bed. Of course, my dad was still drinking, still going at it, but he would put records on. The big family console. And so it would start with like Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash, a lot of Johnny Cash. It seemed. Then it'd go into the storytelling songs. The 1814, we took a little trip, all that kind of stuff. So I remember that. And then as he would get more buzzed, or drunk, or wasted, or whatever you want to call it, or happy, it would go to classical. Then he shut the lights out, and I would be the only one up. And so you'd have a cigarette, and just kind of do his cigarette like a little bee flying around like And so there was very romantic. He left Flight of the Bumblebee, like he put on classical. And so we'd go through it all, and the whole time my mom was Thriller. What was the Michael Jackson record with
Off the Wall?
Off the Wall, big one. Faces, Rod Stewart. Silly stuff like that, but also like great stuff. Small Faces. I think she messed up and got a cool.
So
record.
you grew up in the Thriller
Beatles.
age.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Now I feel old.
well, I didn't grow up. I mean, I'm 42, but I mean, it was happening, and my older brothers were into it. And I remember when it was on television, and Michael Jackson moonwalked. I remember that, but I was barely old enough to remember it.
I
really
remember watching him on Bandstand when Michael was about this tall.
Yeah.
Now I need to lay on the couch.
That's the cool. That's a cool thing, man. Yeah, the Jackson 5. Yeah. So my mom liked the pop stuff, and my dad liked that kind of stuff, and it would go to classical. And then real quick, we joined the church years later, a church, and my dad is either black or white, like it's all or nothing. He converted, like from eating steaks every night to now we are vegetarian / vegan, to we don't do this on the Sabbath. Or, very, very strict. To
Embraced whatever he was grabbing onto at the time.
Yes, exactly. He was a drowning man in his book.
Yeah.
So when you mention music, if you mention, I won't say the joke, but he does not like music.
Really?
He will tell you, I don't like music. I don't even like new hymns at church, and like.
Really?
Yeah. So he's kind of that guy, but the truth is, he does like music.
Yeah.
Just took a little booze. Come on, man. A little coffee stout. So, I mean, I kind of grew up with that, but also with the guilty feeling about music.
Yeah.
So even when I write songs today, I'll whisper them. I'll kind of I'm just by myself, and it's kind of a very personal thing, and I just kind of figure out a hook, and then I whisper them, and then...
But when you come to the Elks on August 11th...
August 11th,
He will not be whispering. He will be giving it his all. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm done.
I like to drop a little plugs in every once in a while.
Yes, August 11th, yeah. No whispering at all.
No whispering.
So when did you end up down in the valley from San Jose?
Yeah, that was maybe 85 or something like that.
How old were you then?
I had 4th grade.
Okay,
whatever
so
that is.
kids, grade school, yeah.
Yeah, grade school. And so they threw me into a 2-room schoolhouse down in the heart of Tempe. So you're surrounded by all this cool stuff. I remember walking to school or skateboarding to school.
Yeah.
And seeing a Meat Puppets poster up. And Gin Blossoms and all that stuff that, first of all, Meat Puppets poster, if anybody knows what I'm talking about, that's some crazy stuff. It feels like you were on acid.
Not kid friendly.
Not kid friendly. It's like, that is a weird monster with 5 heads. Like, I want to go to this show. Like, what is this all about? So that was very exciting to see these posters up and then going to gigs and, not going to gigs, but, kind of living in the heart there next to the college.
Nice.
Yeah.
When did you start playing?
Oh, man.
And what did Dad say?
Well, I was out of the house, I think, by 14.
Oh, okay.
So it was kind of just, I went to a private school and stuff like that, and that didn't work out to the points of no GED even. Like, they just kind of like, it's either church or nothing.
Out of the house on your own?
On my own.
Okay,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. So I was living with a girl, my friend.
My
That's
goodness.
right. You're looking at a playa.
So at 14 years old, living the rock and roll lifestyle.
Yeah, it's probably 15 to be honest. I don't want to scare you. Yeah,
man.
So 15. Yeah, no, I actually know. And I was
looks
just
like
looking.
such a nice young man.
He's a nice
Man.
boy. Oh, God.
Little do
He's
we
such a
know
nice boy.
the evil lurking below that dark T-shirt. Man.
So that was the start of it. And that was the whole deal. Was all this music was around me, and you feel this energy and Mill Avenue, and having to walk past that and all that kind of stuff. And then I got a call from an old high school friend, said if you play this talent show with me, because they were still in high school, suckers. And if you play this talent show, we'll give you this PA system, which was the oldest PA system known to man. Yeah, Shure Vocal Master. So I said, okay, there's my way out of working on the auto body shop. So I played the show, went to rehearsals, and I earned myself a Shure Vocal Master. Yeah,
nice.
So, and from there, just kind of band to band to band, figured it out.
Had you always been writing? You said
Yes.
you're kind of a songwriter.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
your strong suit.
I have very strong memories of living in San Jose as a preschooler or first grade. I don't know. I think it was first grade, making up songs in my bedroom.
Wow.
Right next,
Any of those working their way into
absolutely
the playlist?
not. No, absolutely
No?
not.
Hey, I don't want to scare you, Drew, but there's a really thug-looking guy messing with your gear right now.
Oh, good.
Man.
Lovely.
Let's get him.
There he is.
I'm just glad he
Anton
got his
Teschner is running
short
sound for
hair
us
Is it
now.
Gary?
No, not Gary. It was Gary.
Run.
He's coming for you.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Nice.
taking up too much.
No,
I'm
it's
talking.
all
No,
Yeah.
not at all, man.
Yeah.
How about you, Marcus? Music family, big family. What was?
Music family, yes.
Very
I hail
much so.
from Anchorage, Alaska.
Oh my goodness!
That's where I was born and raised. And so I come from...
on purpose.
Yeah.
And we're going back there. We're going back.
Yes.
Really?
We got
Yes.
some shows coming up.
Next month we
Where are you
are
playing?
the Palmer State Fair.
Okay.
Or it's the Alaska State Fair, but it's in Palmer.
There's and I think it's up there. A club, famous, infamous. I don't know how you for both music and comedy. Chilkoot Charlie's.
Chilkoot Charlie's, yeah.
Yeah, you ever
What is that
play in
called?
there?
What did you just
No.
You swearing? What's going on?
Chilkoot Charlie's.
I can't
Chill.
even say that.
Chill.
Coot
Kook.
Charlie's.
Yeah,
wow,
some
all right.
horror stories of comics that I know that have played there.
Really?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with the club. It's just some of the clientele that goes in
Oh, absolutely.
for the comedy shows. They end up 3 days later don't know where they are. They're out in the middle
Yeah.
of the woods.
Shanghai.
See, an
Hungover.
Alaskan sourdough like me, people call it Chilkoots. That's they don't say Charlie's; they just say Chilkoots, and everybody knows.
Everybody knows.
Yeah, but I was a kid. I moved out by the time I was like 18 years old.
What brought your family out there?
Well, my father was originally in the Air Force, and then after he got out of the Air Force, he worked for the Air Force Civil Service, and so then
And he played in the band too.
yeah, my father is a jazz/R&B guitarist. Back in his day, he used to play in this union band that would they would have artists that would come through, and they would have to have like a pickup band.
Yeah.
And so he was part of that, and so he got a chance to back up Solomon Burke, Etta James, Staple Singers.
So the headliner would come in and go, "Okay, we need the
So he was
we need
part
the
of that.
session guys."
Yeah.
Oh, neat.
Yeah,
Neat.
he was one of those guys, and so he's a real cool guy. Samuel, I'm Sam's son, Marcus. Anyways,
very cool
the
guy.
real cool thing about him is that he built our first house, and with our first house, he built a basement where he would actually have like all the walls lined with albums, just hundreds of albums, and then he would have his band rehearsals there. And so when I was just a little kid, I would sit underneath the piano, my mom's piano, and I would listen to their rehearsal while they'll just like jamming out and doing their thing. And
so it's in
and
your
I would fall
DNA.
asleep that
Yes,
way.
it is.
That was kind of like my nursery. It wasn't a nursery rhyme, but that's how I fell asleep.
Your lullaby.
My lullaby.
Yeah,
lullaby.
just
Yes.
listen to
And he
cool
really
R&B.
is. He bleeds all this stuff out. Like
Yeah.
all these influences that he picked up then, they ooze out of him at all times. Like that sounds gross. That sounds bad.
No, I know
It's a good
exactly
kind of,
what
it's a
you
good
mean.
ooze.
It's
Yeah.
but it's always. I mean, it's in him and it comes out, and so we're very lucky. Like those
Nice.
influences. Are
Yeah,
pretty
and
cool.
then so then that's my father, and then my mother. She's classical, and she was the church organist at the Catholic church I attended, and so between those two, that's kind of like how I came through music. Just between the two of their, where they were coming from musically,
So
but
the
then
different influences kind of forming.
Yeah. So I would listen to my mom play like a Bach classical piece, and then at night I would hear my dad jamming, jazz, R&B with his group kind of thing. So I'd have the best of both worlds.
What was the first band you were in? What were you?
Come
did
on.
high school
Come
stuff?
on.
Or?
Say
Yeah.
it.
Oh, no, yeah. It's it was called MME Junior.
What is that again?
MME Junior. And
What was the first song you played? Say it.
I know what this is.
First live song you played out.
Oh, no. Our first song we composed was called Eskimo Pie.
No. I did not say compose. I did not say compose. First song you played. First cover song you played.
Oh, what was my first song? It was Fallen
on.
Angel by Poison.
That's right. A Poison song.
Mine was Queensrÿche, Silent Lucidity.
Are either of those making their way into the set list? Have the Elks?
No. Unless we sell out by tomorrow.
So we will learn. We will learn both of those.
We will play Fallen Angel if all the tickets sell tomorrow.
And Silent Lucidity. Yes.
Yeah.
Back to back.
Back, right.
In a dress. Yeah.
In a dress.
Worst gig you ever played?
Ooh. Well,
Do you want me to walk away for this one? Or?
no.
Was it last night? Was it?
No, the worst gig. Well, wow, that's. I know that's a hard one.
What do you got, Blaine?
What you? Yeah, Blaine's busting at the seams. Oh, mine first. You know what? It turned out bad at first, but then it turned good.
Yeah.
Ah.
The story. Well, it's quick story on that is that this is back
After
in
the
Alaska.
fire, it was great.
Yeah.
Smoke cleared. It's very wrong.
No, it was actually back in Alaska. I played my group that was doing like Poison stuff, Motley Crue, and so we ended up doing this show where we were booked with like 3 other heavy metal bands, and they were doing like Iron Maiden and like Anthrax
You
and
guys
that kind of
play
stuff.
Poison, that's
And
how
we
it
were
is.
here
That's rough.
playing this glam rock, and we were just like looking at these dudes with their arms folded, like,
What were you wearing? And what was your hair like at the time?
oh, you know what? Actually, I had this Wave Nouveau kind of
nice.
curl going on.
Please
you know.
tell me there's pictures floating around. We can put it on the
I'd
website.
love to see that.
Yeah, I have to upload that to Facebook, but
MySpace.
yeah, but you know what?
That way no one will see it. Yeah.
Actually, with that gig, it was one of those things where these dudes, long-haired dudes, with their arms folded, and looking at us like, we dare you to like try to like rock, kind of thing. And so, but you know what? I think all of us huddled and we just assessed the situation like, you know what, guys? Obviously, we're the odd men out. We're just going to rock their faces off.
Yeah.
We're just going to do the best that we're going to do. And ever since that point, I mean, we rocked them like they loved us. And so,
Got them to turn.
and
With
I
the
learned
hair.
from that point thereon that anytime I was in a situation where the odds were against us, I always tell everyone, just rock your faces off. Be honest with what you're doing, because everyone will respect that.
Yeah. What was the name of the group again?
At that time, it was called Influence.
Okay. What was the other one you said? The first
MME Junior.
What
That
did
was when I was in junior high
What
school.
did that stand for? What?
That was Marcus,
Oh, okay.
Michael, and Eddie.
Gotcha.
Eddie was such a diva. Such a diva. Yeah. I've got you beat for worst gig.
Go.
2 deaths.
Oh my God.
What? Two?
One,
What?
One near death.
What?
Were any of them in your band?
No, it was a solo gig. I was playing downtown Phoenix. What's the ladies' name park there where they used to have McDowell Mountain?
Margaret
Hatcher.
yeah.
Is that right? Hatch? C Hatch or
Yeah, I know the way. Yeah, I played
Yeah.
Center downtown.
Murder
Yeah,
Park.
yeah.
It's called Well, there's a lot of outdoorsmen there.
Margaret T. Hans.
Outdoors.
T. Hance?
Hance, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. There were 2 overdoses.
Oh,
During the
my
show?
goodness.
They got carried while I was playing. They said we're trying to reinvigorate. We're trying to get some action back in this park, and we're doing these weekly concerts. But
Sounds like they got enough action in that
yes,
park.
it did. So 2 of them they left. They overdosed and they left, and it was not good when they
That's
left.
horrible.
It's very horrible. But as a guy, I was just like, can we stop now? Like, I was just like, can we finish the
Yeah.
gig? They're like, it's fine. Just keep going. We won't let.
We're just going
My
to clear
phone-
the bodies out.
This
and
is that
just
is an
keep the show
absolute
happening.
true story. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. And
Wow.
you know what? Now that I'm thinking, maybe I know. Okay, yeah, I don't want to be morbid, but yeah, one person didn't make it. The other one, I'm not sure about. The other one, buddies carried him away. 3
Man.
overdoses. We'll just put it that way.
Wow.
That was a very scary gig for me.
Rest assured, none of that will be happening
At the
on
Elks.
August 11th
No,
at the Elks Theater.
Everything's going to
Well,
be good.
I don't know. We can't,
No.
Everyone will
sorry.
survive.
At least he's trained in CPR now,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, no, he's experienced. He knows
I
what
will
to
put
do.
my mouth on your mouth. We will bring you back. It's going to be okay.
Ooh, I'm feeling chest pains now as we speak. Actually. Tell me a little bit about your experience with The Voice.
You want the no, I
You can give me the short. You're probably sick of talking about it. I don't know.
yeah, well no, it's there's not much to talk about. It was really, I was signed to a little label in town, and through the label we finished a record, and it was what do we do with this record, and what
Yeah.
do we do with this guy? Now we're about to release it. So we had a meeting with someone. They said, I can get you on The Voice. It'd be dumb to do any advertising because you kind of throw your money away in this.
Yeah.
The industry's over, I mean, for the most part. So,
That's
everyone's
you
getting
talk about
songs
as far
for
as
free.
record sales and
pushing,
things.
pushing artists and stuff like that. So, I thought, well, I'll play nice and they can get me an audition for The Voice. There's no way they'll let me on anyway.
Yeah.
They'll push the record. I'll make them happy. I'm playing nice. And, I was very grateful to get on The Voice. And,
Yeah.
And I'm very grateful to be off The Voice as fast as I was. It was 2 months away from my wife and kids.
Yeah.
And, for I think a minute and almost 2 minutes of showtime for 2 months.
Wow.
So it's just to me, it's real easy to be negative because there's plenty to be negative about.
Yeah.
But again, we wouldn't be here if I wasn't on the
Yeah.
show because it did kind of bring what I was doing already in the Valley. I put out a record. Marcus and I were talking about this today. I put out a record a year. I've made my living playing all original music for the last 10 years in the Valley. Nobody does
Yeah.
that. Nobody, and many people can. They just don't. I guess I'm dumb enough or whatever, but I just really enjoy writing and I enjoy
Yeah.
playing. So to get on the show, it was such a blessing, and to get off the show when I did was honestly where we aimed. My wife and I were talking about it. If we can just get off right after the first round. After they turn their chairs, let the next one get out of there, do a good performance, and get home.
Get some exposure. Get some clips you could use and
Yeah.
spread around.
Yeah,
Get
and
some,
you learn a lot.
Yeah.
You really do. You walk away with more than you leave on the table, and you leave a lot on the table. It takes a lot from you.
Yeah.
It really does. There's a huge level of depression when you leave the show. From everybody that I've talked to, it's huge because you're being catered to for months. You have a whole, you just left your real life, and it's not even near like a true Hollywood type of thing. But for a struggling musician to have everything handed to you.
Yeah.
You're important. Here's wardrobe. Here's this. Here's craft services. I love the food, baby. We're just you pick what you want. Let's do this, and but so that you do bring more home than you leave there, and they take a lot from you, and they give you a number instead of a name, and they literally do. Like, oh, you're 22. That was my number. So I was just like, really? I know your name already. Like, why don't you know mine? Like, dude, we've been here a month.
You're going to be gone tomorrow.
Well, exactly, and that's the thing. And I was very aware of that. My generation was, the whole grunge thing of like us against you. So
if it's the term, I don't know what they use there, but your class there with The Voice.
Yeah.
What was the age demographics like?
Well, let's put it this way. When I showed up in the lobby, one of the handlers came up to me and said, "Where's your contestant?
Where's your kid?
You must be the you must be the chaperone." And I just immediately just started laughing. Hold on, I got to call my wife and tell her what just happened.
Yeah.
Like, it's just. I was the second oldest person on the thing, but I would say around 18 to 27-ish.
That obviously helped you to deal with it because as a 18, 19-year-old kid being treated like a star and then having
Yes.
to go back and
And then-
sell Slurpees at 7-Eleven when they
Yes.
get cut.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was very hard. One of the best performers, and I think he's going to be an amazing songwriter, and he's a nice dude. Got kicked off the show right away, and to see him, and I'm an emotional guy. I'll cry.
Yeah.
I'll cry pretty fast. Like, just show me a dog food commercial, like I'm going to cry. But like to see him crying, like all one of the judges had to do was put their arms around him, just be like, "Hey, dude, don't worry. You're a kid. You're this age, and I won't mention the age or the kid.
Yeah.
But like this kid is like he's killing it as we speak. Now the top 4, 8, they're not doing as well as this kid is, and they kicked him off the show way too soon. No judge ever went up, put their arm around him, and said, "Hey, man, like just be aware of where you are, who you are. This is just the beginning, and this is just a TV show. Why can't they just whisper that in their ear? It's just a TV show. Like, hey, there's things were decided by, just it's a big machine here.
Yeah.
So like, it's very easy to be negative that way. But
We want ratings, and by the way,
Yes.
these people are talented too. But
absolutely.
we're selling toilet paper.
yeah, but nobody says that
Yeah.
to where everyone believes it's the other thing.
Yeah.
All the kids are talking. We're going to be all stars. I'll buy you a guitar. You buy me a guitar. This is going to be great. We're going to go on tour together. It's going to be amazing. And I'm just in the back going, I'm going to punch you if you get too close,
Yeah.
But trying to be nice and trying to be, 'cause
And
I'm
in the
old
back,
enough.
and in the back of your mind, going, and then when this is over, I get to go home with my kids.
Well, yes, but at the same time, you believe the lie.
Yeah.
Maybe I am a star. Maybe I'm an amazing vocalist. Maybe I should stop writing songs and just be a vocal. You can't help it. You are surrounded by the hype. You are in the land of hype, surrounded by the hype, and they want you to believe it. So it's this weird thing of like, you're human, dude. Like maybe I am the best thing ever. This is pretty sweet. Like,
Surrounded by yes people, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
How do you
people.
keep your feet grounded
right,
and something like that?
right. You don't. You
Yeah.
lose it, or you become like really, you hope for it. And like the way I put it is, you can't take the good credit and you can't take the bad credit of that show. I was a 40-year-old guy who adopted 2 kids that makes his living playing original music. That's a
Yeah.
story. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I just a couple of times had to say, don't use my kids that way.
I was going to say, to have your
Yes.
life used as a novelty is
Yeah.
kind of... Yeah.
Right. But it is my life.
Yeah.
It is their life is my life. So as long as we were honest, that was my biggest thing. And
Gotcha.
that's what we've always been. That's what I love about this band, is that we're all very honest with who we are, what we want to do, and when we want to do it. August 11th at the
August
Elks
11th.
Theater.
And when we want to do it.
I
Try.
want to digress a little bit
Yes,
to
sure,
our
sure.
previous conversation, and we'll wrap up.
Yeah, it was-
Dead hell gig, Drew.
Oh.
What's the worst one for you?
Oh, man.
Did it have to do with Anton? Just
No, it
curious.
didn't have to do with Anton.
Just
Oh wait,
check.
he's right
Is
there.
it what?
No, it did not have to do with Anton. Although him and I have shared some pretty close to experiences where we've been playing in places that, anyway, but not this place. This place is great. But no, I was probably a teenager. I was in like a rock cover band, and we were playing like Van Halen and rock. And our singer was also in a boy group. A 4-man white
nice.
suit wearing
nice.
Boys to Men style group, and we got misbooked for a party.
They
And
were
they're expecting Boys to Men, and I'm there with my headless Eddie Van Halen Steinberger guitar with the whammy bar. You guys want to hear Panama? And these 16-year-old girls are looking at us like, we don't. What is that?
Where's
thing?
the cute one?
Why are you guys not dancing? Why
There's
aren't
an
you
interesting
dancing?
correlation here, where
See?
we played to a different audience.
Yeah, see, man,
that's interesting.
No,
That's
and
funny.
it was very, very awkward because they were looking at us like, we don't know what this is. Why are you playing instruments? You should be singing and dancing.
Aren't you
Very
pointing
uncomfortable.
as
And
you
it was
dance,
out of
yeah.
town too, and it couldn't have got worse. It was the worst thing ever. So.
That is awesome.
But the best gig you guys are playing is August 11th.
August
at the Elks.
11th at the
Hit
Elks
it
Theater.
again. Where can folks time? Where they can get tickets?
So
And-
you can go to the box office at the Elks, or just go to theelkstheater.com. And there's a link where it says Walt Richardson and Friends, Blaine Long, Rosas Del Rey. And you can click on that and get tickets. Or if you are Facebook friends with me in any capacity or any of the Prescott music groups, I share it all the time. And I always
Yeah.
put the link on there so
Nice.
that it's a direct link to getting tickets. And, seating chart, you can pick your seats. We have the balcony open as well
Nice.
as the downstairs. But people last year that we waited to open the balcony, they're like, we want the front row of the balcony. The front of the balcony is already sold, but
Oh,
there's
wow.
still plenty of good balcony
Yeah.
spots. I mean,
There's not a bad seat in
There's
that
no
place.
bad
No,
seats.
it
No,
is
it's
such
a beautiful
theater.
spot,
It's
man.
so beautiful in there.
It's,
It
you
really
know,
is.
And we get to do a cool thing because we get to do original music. We got, Walt Richardson, who's an Arizona Music Hall of Famer. We got what we're doing here with this new band and this new excitement. We got the Cheek Tones Trio, local favorites. So we got all of the different elements involved. So, we get to really celebrate Arizona music.
It's the real deal.
Yeah.
Now, this is going up, again, thanks to the folks at Granite Mountain. I'm going to say it wrong, aren't I? Granite
you're
Mountain
saying it right.
Brewery.
Granite Mountain Brewing.
I do the same thing. I feel the same way.
GMB. I say
GMB.
everything
If you're
wrong.
cool, you say GMB.
I've said my own website wrong on more than one occasion. Thanks again for letting us take up space here. You guys are playing here tonight.
7 to 9.
This will go up, I want to say, late tomorrow. So let's flash forward about 3 or 4 days. What else you guys got coming up? Anything.
As far
Either
as locally?
solo stuff, as a group, whatever you got. Anything you guys want to plug. Plug away.
I would say locally is the thing on the 13th public.
What's that?
The thing at the courtyard.
Yes, that's happening. I just don't know.
It's next Friday.
But I forget if it's a
Unless-
public event or not. Yeah.
Is that
I
at
think
the
it's
Holiday?
A thank you for folks.
Holiday
It's type of
Courtyard.
thing.
Yeah, for CCJ. We're doing
Then
a
you know
thing.
what? Even
Yeah.
if it is a private thing, stand out on that
And watch.
sidewalk and
Absolutely.
listen.
Or pay the ticket price and come in and donate. Yeah, it's a great, it's a
no,
great
it's a very
organization.
cool organization.
But
We're gonna be
unless I have my
playing
book in front of me, I don't know. But we got the Perch Friday night. We're playing in downtown Chandler.
there. Yep, tomorrow night.
We go down to anybody that goes to Mexico. We go down to Rocky Point quite a bit. We play at Wrecked at the
saw
Reef.
that.
The Reef. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, we kind of have a little home there now.
Yeah.
I was just doing bookings before I came here. So
Oh, nice.
So,
Good.
When are you there again? Do you know?
Yeah,
off the
that's a
top of your
good
head?
question. The
I'll-
end of
is it on your website?
August?
Yeah, you guys as a trio are doing the
Yeah,
end
we're
of
doing
August.
a trio at the end of
That's-
August.
Yes, the
That's
end of
the
August.
same time I'm doing the Voila tour at the
Yeah.
Elks.
nice,
with,
nice.
Yeah,
with Alan.
BlaneLong.com is the best way to find out when
Gotcha.
Rosas is playing. But
Yeah.
Facebook, all that
Follow
stuff.
Drew on Facebook because
Yes.
he makes sure
Yeah.
everybody knows what's up. And
Absolutely.
we want to hit again BlaneLong.com, Blaine Long Music on both Instagram
Yep.
and Twitter.
Yep.
Drew Hall Guitar on Instagram.
Marcus Weeden.
Marcus Weeden everywhere.
Yes.
Everywhere.
Yes.
And the
Marcus
website.
Weeden
Yeah.
everywhere. Everything
Well,
is
hey.
better with
Yeah.
Marcus. Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for
Thank
talking
you.
again. August
Thank you.
11th at the Elks. Links are in the show notes.
Appreciate it.
I'm going to record a little bit when you guys are playing for my
Nice.
intro and
Yeah,
outro.
man.
And we'll link all this stuff up. And again, thanks to the folks at Granite Mountain. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Well, that was it. That was episode 178. Thank you so much to Rosas Del Rey, Blaine Long, Marcus Weeden, and Drew Hall for sitting down and talking to me at Granite Mountain Brewing. And thank you also to any of you who may have felt the need, as we said in our intro, to contact our anti-sponsor, Geico, who is wasting your money and wasting my time. Call Nico Turi at 480-225-5633. Again, Nico Turi. Let him know how you feel at 480-225-5633 or email him at nturi@geico.com. Thanks for tuning in. Check out milehighshow.com. Use that Amazon link to pick up Rosas Del Rey's release Uno, and go to PrescottElksTheater.com for tickets for their show on August 11th. And thanks for tuning in.
I'm a finger gun killer. I got my finger guns. I'm a finger gun killer. I got my finger guns.